I just went out for a walk, and I'm feeling particularly inspired to just say my mind. And I just want to talk about different things that I thought of today. To be honest with you, my videos are very kind of ambiguous and unorganized, and I just kind of just quote things. So as far as the stuff I'm dealing with, understand that I have a very elementary understanding of this stuff. So if I sound a little bit absurd or even stupid, just tell me about it, and we'll have a discussion over it. All of my like 130 subscribers, which are showing me less comments by every day, but hey. Anyways, what I would like to talk about is what Jesus means to me. And first of all, I want to say that I am so glad that I live in this great country where we can just have like a free marketplace of ideas and just, faithfully practice the First Amendment, which is just an awesome thing. And I love the country, and I love the church that I go to. So I'm just going to talk about stuff. So anyways, the Jesus I know, the Jesus that I worship, and that everybody worships, I think, because it's the same guy, the same God, was not, to use a term adopted by despondent teenagers, a conformist. He was a guy that threw tables over corruption in God-given institution. He's the guy that talked about the only true important kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. And Jesus was to me about love, and not about institutions, but institutions are very important, because if we didn't have institutions, well, then where would we be? But Jesus didn't talk against institutions. He talked about the corruption of institutions, and that's a very important distinction to make. Let me just quote a few things that I found in MLK's letter from Birmingham jail, different things that he talked about. Let me just quote a few things. He said, "We will win our freedom because the sacred heritage of our nation and the eternal will of God are embodied in our echoing demands." And I think a lot of those demands, within the context of the historical time that he was talking in, are still in some ways the same as they were back then. They just manifest themselves in different ways. And so he also said, whenever the early Christian in our town, the people in power became disturbed and immediately sought to convict the Christians for being disturbers of the peace and outside agitators. And this is something that MLK knew very well. When he was talking against a lot of kind of just this kind of like people condoning things that were wrong and saying, well, this is the church and this is social issues, and we're going to keep the two separate. And that's not what he was. That's not really what it was about. And he was kind of seen as kind of like an agitator, but he was a peaceful agitator, and he believed in nonviolent demonstrations and passive resistance and things of that nature. And he also mentions further, he says, Jesus was an extremist of love. Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them, to those that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. I feel personally like I've been kind of used. Within political context, I've been used to dissect all sorts of political contexts, which I just kind of accidentally step into. It's just something that naturally happens. But without getting too far off track here, I just want to say that I do feel as though I come into contact with a very subtle form of injustice on a daily basis, and that's when people try to say things about me that are untrue, or try to suggest things that are untrue. And I just deal with that by saying, hello, how are you doing? And I just do my thing, and I walk to class and just say hi to people. And certain people have tried to say that this is just some tool I use. It's not a tool I use, that's just how I am. And that's how I function. But, when people start suggesting otherwise, you begin to think that. And furthermore, beyond that, people have even suggested things about my use of cigarettes. For instance, I go to Avatar, and they have a lady who smokes cigarettes, and then she ends up, But I think that was well intentioned. But anyways, I have the God-given liberty to smoke as many cigarettes as I want. Do I have the God-given liberty to be a jerk to people? No, but cigarettes, that's a different thing. So, anyways, I'm sure that I have sounded like an idiot in some way, shape, or form throughout this video, but just tell me what you think. I mean, do you think that Christianity has become sort of kind of like a politician's tool? Do you think that within the last 10 years now, the zeros, do you think that religion was used in a good way or a bad way or both? I guess it depends on who the people are. I mean, if you talk to anybody, I think everybody will say that there are good people in religion and there are bad people in religion, just as there are good and bad people in any way or walk of life, So, anyways, the only way of life, the true walk of life is Jesus, and if we don't follow that with our convictions, which I'm doing right now, then you, me, I don't, we don't have any optimism to work out of. So, anyways, just tell me what you think. The main thrust of this video is, do you think that Christianity has become sort of kind of like a pat on the back and a handshake, or do you think it's actually a spirit that moves people to do what's right and good? Anyways, thank you, and God bless.